Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Noise, and welcome back to Skybees. In the last episode, and the episode before that, we have been working on our factory area, our machines, and trying to get things automated so that we can have all the honeycombs coming in, being processed, and then I want to work on getting some automation, and that's kind of where we're at. So let's start with the issues I've been having with the honeycomb automation. Actually a pretty simple one to fix, but these cables are awful. So they don't look to see if an inventory is filled. They work with the drawers, which the mechanism pipes do not work with drawers. There is a known issue. It's because of how drawers handles the items in the code and how mechanism looks to see if they're filled. Mechanism typically sees all these drawers as always filled, and so it never wants to put items in. Now we have these cyclic item cables, and as far as I can tell, that's pretty much all the item cables, item transportation we have in this mod pack. It's one of the limitations of this mod pack, which is fine because it makes me have to come up with solutions and figure things out and make messes. But these item cables, I had them over top the drawers. I decided to push it back a block, and this will be hidden completely. I mean, even this chest will be mostly hidden because we'll have the aluminum sheet metal on the roof. But these guys would connect to the drawers, and as far as I can tell, there's no way to not get them to connect to an inventory. But they have the problem of they don't look to see if an inventory is full when they try to send an item. So when this gets full of whatever, if the drawer of rotten flesh, for example, is full, and that's the next item to pull, because I believe it pulls from the top left, it will pull the item and it will jam up. So we need to fix that, and the easiest way to fix that is to put void upgrades on every single drawer. So I wanted to show off how to make those real quick. They're really easy. It's just upgrade templates and obsidian. And the upgrade templates are just any drawer with a bunch of sticks. So not too awful. I don't know what the most cost effective, let's see, if we made a standard drawer, it is a chest, so that's 8 wood plus 6, that's 14. These are, what is it, 16 woods, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23 divided by 2 is like 12, so technically these are a little bit more cost efficient on the wood, but there's also these like half slab drawers. We could probably use these, so that is, I mean, it's 8 wood plus like, so it's like 10 wood for this. So I might do some math and see what's the most efficient way to make, or I will just make like these drawers and make a bunch of upgrade templates, because we have a wood farm, so it doesn't matter too much. But I have a couple upgrade templates. Let's go ahead and make one set of these. I'll probably teach the system how to make these eventually. That is a quest, by the way. So yeah, this is the solution. Now luckily there is, if we pop down here and look at one of the drawers, I know that I'm just gonna make enough for every single drawer, and then I don't know what these are gonna be. Probably more of the single drawers. We'll see as things come in. But yeah, these do have, what is it, 7 upgrade slots, so nothing too bad. We can still put like 6 of the emerald upgrades, because I think that is the best, and I think we can just put emeralds in there, so it would be perfect. And we're gonna eventually have on a few of them creative vending upgrade, because that's really powerful. But that is end game, and we're not even close to that yet. So basically, I just need to void everything, and that will prevent things from filling up and being awful. So the other thing I'll need to do is just kind of, I'm going to probably do a lot of this round manually as I fill the drawers. And then once I add new columns, I'll put those in whatever products and then go from there. So that's been kind of the big issue. Now we set this up last time for the making, what are they called? I don't even know where we can get recipes. The processor, the storage parts, that's what they're called. So the 1K storage parts are made in the dissolution chamber. We have that automated, but we need to automate the actual processors because, don't need that anymore. If we want to make, let's say, 64K storage parts, we're going to need advanced processors and improved processors and normal processors and more improved processors. So it is a lot of processors, and those require inscribers. So today's plan is this. We're going to set up the rest of the automation for making storage disks. That way, I can upgrade this guy, put all of my storage disks in there, and all of my items in there, and then we can put that in here and have things be nice, and everything will be wonderful. The other thing is we're going to want to get more crafters. If we want to make crafters, we need advanced processors, destruction cores, and construction cores. But we also need machine casings. So this is something that we're going to want to semi-automate potentially today. We'll see. But let's get into the actual problem that we're going to run into today. So I have in my inventory a bunch of junk. But I also have everything we need. Okay, let's just take all the obsidian out and throw... we kind of need most of the stuff right now. Alright, let's find a place to dump the obsidian. I think in here will be fine. Okay, so I have in my inventory everything we're going to need to automate the processors. These 5 processors, so destruction cores, construction cores, advanced processors, improved processors, and basic processors. Now, there is one other thing that we're going to need, and that is a crafting upgrade, which we'll get to later. And yeah, this has been kind of a head scratcher for a little bit. So I'm going to do this with just 3 inscribers. And it doesn't really matter where we put them. We're going to put them on this wall, and then I'm going to probably fill this wall in and just have windows on these sides. I think that's what we're going to live with. And part of the reason is because we have access to refined storage there pretty easily. There's also power down here, which these guys will need power, so we can deal with things pretty easily. And then we can hide things behind in the wall, and eventually I think we can make facades, or there's something for mechanism, I believe, to hide these pipes, I think, but I'm not sure. We don't really care too much, but if we want to make things look a little bit prettier, we can do that. So all of these processors, all these cores and processors require silicon, printed silicon. This is kind of the first problem. So where to start? So, okay. These 3 processors, advanced, improved, and basic, all have the same recipe for the most part. It all requires redstone dust in the middle, printed silicon on the bottom, and the raw processor of whatever type on the top, which is fine. If that was all we had to do, this would be super easy to automate. However, the construction cores and the destruction cores require the printed silicon and the raw basic processors, but then their own items, so glowstone and nether quartz. So if we were to do this, putting whatever we request, so put a crafter here and put a chest here and say we want to make a processor and a core, it would not work because there's no way for this system to know if we were to send the ingredients for a construction core and the ingredients for a basic processor or a, you know, an improved processor. If we were making one of each of them, the system wouldn't know to make each of them, because it might take these basic processors and rather than making an advanced and an improved processor, make 3 basic processors. That makes sense? Hopefully it does. So the solution I've come up with is just use 2 chests. So we're going to have a chest for the 2 cores, because those will always get the processors, and they have different middle ingredients. So if we want to request both of them, it'll send twice the amount of basic processors, and it will send whatever items the glowstone and the nether quartz. And in the other one, we'll do the normal processors because they all require redstone dust, and then it just makes it based on what kind of raw processor it has. So that's fine, but now how do we get the printed silicon so that both systems have silicon? Originally I thought, well, we could send this to the silicon printer, which is just going to be an inscriber, and that'd be fine. That's not going to work. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to use a crafting upgrade. We're going to basically do the exact same thing we did for this guy to make the glass bottles with the silicon. So that will always fill up both of the other two inscribers full of printed silicon. Makes sense. Hopefully it does once I actually build it. So the first thing we're going to need to do is let's grab some cables, which I believe I have some in here. And I have all the patterns ready. We just gotta make them. And I realized the other thing we're gonna probably want to do is we're gonna want to get an importer at some point. No, not an importer, exporter. Importer brings it into the system, exporter sends out of the system. Easy way to check that is to check what this guy is. Exporter. So yeah, we're going to need an export for the silicon. That is not too bad. Exporter. And yeah, it's pretty easy. So let's figure out where we're going to want stuff. And we're going to run this like so. And I think what we can do is we can have chest, and we'll have crafters on top of them. So that will be that, and then we can put something like, no, we're not gonna have to put the crafter somewhere else, because I want the logistical sorters on top of them. And this is how we're going to actually get things kind of done. So I guess we could actually go underneath and put a crafter underneath each of these guys, and then we can have things set up right. So the first inscriber will be here. And we need underneath and the back. So we'll put the inscriber there. The exporter will go there, and it will be connected like so to the system. Nothing too difficult there. Alright, so this guy is going to have the inscriber silicon press. We're going to need to power it behind. And then underneath, it's going to give us the output. No, the output will be here, and then that will need to go underneath the other two. And they're going to go here and here. Now, this is not going to be symmetrical, is it? No, but that's okay. I don't really care. I mean, we can move it over one and it would be a little bit more symmetrical, but I don't care. It's not that bad. Is it actually? We can move it over two. And then, yeah, let's actually, two might be too much. Should be fine. We're gonna do it. Aesthetics. Aesthetics are important. I need to upgrade this pickaxe at some point here soon. Anyways, I know I can use the configurator, but it's gonna be easier just to break blocks. Because this is the center, so we'll have, yes, we will have inscribers. Oh my gosh, here, here, and here. So this guy is going to have an output on that side. Okay, this should be fine. We're just going to need to have a couple of things. So all of this is going to be like so. This does not need anything on the bottom. So we can fill back in the concrete. And I think apart from output, this is going to be pretty much all the stuff we need in terms of piping. There is going to be the output, which is going to be on the right side. So the inscribers are actually cited on which way they produce. So for the improved processor, raw processor has to go on the top, redstone dust on the left, printed silicon on the bottom, and the output is on the right. Now we can power it from the back and everything will be good. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to power them on the back. There is a place to hook up over here. And it's just going to be a matter of, do I have enough? I do not. I need a few more. So I can get those pretty easily. And we can hook that up to power at the very least. So let's see, universal cables. I did not have enough of those. That's fine. So once we have this, it's just going to be a matter of putting all the filters, and then everything should work. Hopefully. So we'll just bring this down, and these guys should all have power. Perfect. So this guy is going to have the Inscriber silicone press on the top, and he is going to output. Actually, I don't want this connected. So this is going to have to go one over. That's okay, because we do need just a little bit more space. Because we're not going to really have any control over this guy. So the output is going to be here, and then I want to prevent these guys from connecting. And I think we can do that. Yeah. Perfect. And then this will need to not connect, and we might send this one underneath, so let's just take that out. This is going to be a pole, and this one's going to be a pole. So we'll put that in there, and then here is the trick. So we are going to change colors. So we'll have blue, we'll have green, and let's see, we'll want cyan, and I realize this isn't going to work quite how I want it to. I'm going to clean up the piping once I have everything kind of ready, and then this one is going to be, yeah, I'm going to have to separate these out a little bit. Okay, I'll tell you guys what, I'm going to work on the piping because that is going to take me a second just to kind of get everything set up. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to use filters here to pipe items over and put them in the right place. Now this one, anytime we put silicon in here, if we give it some power, is going to extract, if we set this up properly, and it's going to put it into one of both of these. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to have this auto crafting constantly. And will it always go in the front one? No, it will alternate because this is full. So if I put another one in here, it cannot fill anything in. So it's just going to sit there until one of these is empty. So that's how we're going to get around the silicon problem. So I'm going to need 2 crafters. We'll get to that later. Not a big deal. I want to get this set up. So I'll be back once that's done and we can give it a test drive. Alright, so I think I've got it figured out. And this is what it looks like. So I've gone ahead and set up the filters. So for this one we have blue for the raw basic processor, green for the glowstone and nether quartz. This is green, that's blue. Should always put them in those 2. And then we have export on yellow on both sides, and we have it like this. Now it will actually mark the items as that color, which is perfect because then it won't go anywhere else. And then for these guys we have cyan and red. Red is always going to be redstone. Cyan is the other processors. So this should work. I'm going to go ahead and put the printed silicon in both of these. And we only have, the system only knows how to make the basic processor so far. And let's take a look at what we need for crafters. We need 2 advanced and then the cores. So let's get 2 advanced and a bunch of redstone. And we'll also throw in all the rest of the stuff. So let's see if we throw those in and one of these. Will it work? And it appears that it will. And we can put another one of these. And this should, it goes underneath, go all the way over here. And I do believe I do have the extra printed silicon. That is automation. And we can go ahead and put another 2 of these guys in here so that we can make everything else just fine. So let's see if this works. So if we put glowstone and the raw, and then we could also do the nether quartz, and let's go get another basic. I think we're out of slime. Yeah, we're missing slime and string. String is something we're gonna have to deal with soon. Do I have either of those lying around? The answer is doesn't look like it. Do I have any more string in here? No. Okay, so we're gonna have to get some slime and some string. One of those should not be too difficult. The other one should also not be too difficult. And we need a little bit more string than that. We're probably gonna just grow industrial hemp for making all of the string we need, unless I can figure out a better way. And we might actually have a better way coming up soon. We are going to step away from the machines after this episode, I think, because honestly we need to. We've been doing machine stuff for a while. It's time to get on to other projects, and one of those is a mob farm of sorts, so that might help us with the whole... Okay, what is it? Slimy... Of course it is. And salt. It's really pale. Don't see it in there. I could just go... let's see, where would the slimy ones be? It's with the mobs. So let's just... Oh, it should be processing down here. It's just full. We have a bunch of slime balls. Okay, perfect. So I should be able to get most of the ingredients for making the processors. And obviously once we start getting a little bit more auto crafting done, we'll be able to just kind of do this whenever. But the big thing that I hadn't actually seen yet is, does this actually go into here? It does, and it's not connected, so it's just going to sit there. But they do go into the interface, which is exactly where I want them. Perfect. So this system seems to work just fine. I need to clean it up, obviously, but hey, it works. So that is the important thing. So now we have all of these, and we can start looking at making crafters. But in order to do that, we're also going to need a machine casing. And so to get those, we're gonna want, you know, can we actually make the exporter? We could. Okay, we'll get that later. I'm not too concerned. I'm gonna kind of babysit it, and I'll probably finish the automation between episodes. But I do want to get the machine casing taken care of. Now this is gonna be a semi-automatic craft for now. We're not gonna worry about making the steel plates, but I do believe we have quests to make the where are they? The basic auto crafting table. So let's go ahead and do that for this guy, and we can always set it up for auto crafting. I think there's an auto crafter right there, but we can always set that up pretty easily, and it's just going to be another crafter to a block. And that one's going to be super easy. So how do we make the basic auto crafting? So let's remember that. And what are we going to need? So we're going to need, looks like a bunch of black iron and crystalline ingots, which requires an elite crafting. Okay, so we can't make that until we make the elite. So to make the elite crafting table, we're going to need diamonds and elite catalysts, and most of the stuff looks pretty straightforward. We just need a bunch of black iron, which is a bit of a pain. So let's go grab, you know, there's one other thing I didn't consider. All of the dye, all of our dye combs are gonna have to be put somewhere. I can always just put a chest and put it like up. That could work. We could do a filter for the dye combs, and that would work. So because those don't actually get centrifuged, I forgot about them. But we're gonna need a bunch of black ink, and I believe, yeah, RGB. So we're just gonna grab a stack of these, and black iron. Let's just get a stack of that for now. I should have a stack of iron. How much iron do we have down here? We have more than enough. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this cooking up. Unfortunately, this guy is not very quick, so it is going to take some time, but we can work on other things in the meantime. So I need to make another one of these advanced crafting tables, and that's going to require, we're going to need to make a bunch of things. So mostly we just need a ton of these basic components, catalysts, all this kind of stuff. We just need a bunch of black iron, some luminescence, which should not be too difficult. We take 7 blocks, that gives us over a stack, and I should have more than enough glowstone, and we're gonna make extra because why not? So luminescence is easy enough. Oh, it's glowstone that we need 2 stacks of, not gunpowder. Okay, that's fine. We can grab another stack of glowstone. I definitely need to get things processing very soon. I am going to work very hard on that between episodes because we're going to need a lot of this stuff. So there's 2 stacks of luminescence, and then we have a bunch of black iron. So in order to make, oh man, this is what's tough about these elite crafting tables and all this stuff, is it compounds. So we're going to need another advanced. So we need 3 basic. So that's 3 blocks of iron, which shouldn't be too difficult. Let's just come down here and grab a bunch of iron. And we'll just slowly work on this. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 blocks of iron. We are also going to need a bunch of crafting tables. Should not be too difficult. Let's go ahead and put that away, those away. Put these in here with the concrete as well. Okay. So we're going to need 6 crafting tables. And then we're going to need a bunch of other things. So we're going to need, just keep that one, 3 normal black iron slates. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 3. So we're going to need 27 black iron slates for all of the basic tier. And that's 18, so we need 9 more. It's not too awful, but then we're going to need more stuff, and then other things. So we're going to need 3 of these to be normal black iron slates. Not too difficult. And then we need to do all that over again, and yeah. This is going to be a lot of crafting, so let's go ahead and take another quick break. I'm going to get the other advanced crafting table and get everything up to making the elite components, and we'll go from there. So I'll be back once that is all done. Alright, so I have the second advanced crafting table, and pretty much everything else we're going to need. So we need to make a diamond block, and then from there we break this guy, and we can turn it into an elite. Now we're going to need some more diamonds. We're going to need 8 of these, so let's make sure we only make 8. The rest of the stuff is for something else. So that is the elite components. We do that, we get an elite catalyst, which these are quests in here. And then we can make the elite crafting table. And there we go. So with that, we can now make more stuff. Specifically, we can make the crystalline ingots that we need for making the automated tier 1 crafting table. So we're going to need some redstone ingots. That is easy enough. We're going to need 4 of those. And we're going to go ahead and craft these redstone components. And then we're also going to need 4 black iron. We have 10. Hopefully that's enough. I didn't actually look at the recipe for the crystalline ingots, but we need 4 of these. And to get those, it is 1 recipe of this. So that is not awful, other than the fact that it requires, you know, nether stars. So let's get that recipe up. So it's lapis, iron goes there, gold, 2 nether stars, and a bunch of lapis. So actually not that difficult for us at this point, but never like to see nether stars in a recipe. We should have a few. We have 1 here. Let's see if we can't get some more. Oh, they should be being processed or close to it. How did obsidian get in there? And beeswax. Oh, because it connected there. So let's configure that. Take the obsidian out, take the beeswax out, This is still bouncing things back and forth because it doesn't know what to do with it. And it's really trying to get the wither skeleton, but I want the withers. So we're going to just swap that out. And if I have to take things out, then that's fine. Just grab a bunch of this. And there is the second nether star. So we can put that in there. And my inventory is awful, but it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. So we just put the nether stars in here. We get the crystalline ingots, rather. And are these used for much else? The components and the blocks. The blocks aren't used for anything, and the components are just for the auto crafting. So yeah, we just need to make 2 of these guys, and then we can make, if I grab this guy out of there, the basic auto crafting table. And that is another quest. And eventually we're going to have one of these for each. Now, how does this work? If we place this down, it needs power. And it looks like we can save 3 recipes. So the first thing we're going to want to do is teach it how to make machine casings. So we're going to need some steel. Let's get some steel. That's netherite. You know what? Let's just do this real quick. We're just going to upgrade our tools to netherite because we can. Especially the pickaxe. I need to repair it. Put mending on it or something. I need to get into enchants a little bit more, or else find something else to use as a pickaxe. But let's get some steel. I don't know what I just threw in there, but it's fine. So we have steel. We're going to need some stone. I think we only need 4 stone, and then we need the quartz enriched iron, which do we have more of that in here? No. We only have 5 of that, but that should be enough for now. We'll go ahead and get the steel processing on here, and once there's 4 of those, probably by the time we are done with our nap, in fact there should be the 4th. I didn't hear it, but timing, it should be pretty consistent. We can grab the steel plates, and we're gonna teach this how to make a machine casing, and we're gonna shift left click to save. Now it won't automatically make it unless it has power. But what happens if we break this? Does it remember the recipe? No. Okay. Now if we teach it the recipe again, which I probably shouldn't have gotten rid of it. So what happens if... Okay, so it's still there, and then will that like work? I don't know how these work, to be perfectly honest. So let's just put it with some power. We'll just set it here for now. We will teach it this recipe. And unfortunately, it made the recipe too quickly. So, I will tinker with this. We need to get some more stuff together. That's not where it's going to be anyways. It's probably going to be down here somewhere. Maybe we'll have it over here. And I'll mess around with it. I might go into a creative world and see what it all does. But that is going to allow us to make our first crafter mostly automatically, once we get more quartz enriched iron, that is. So still things to do, plenty of things to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to end the episode off here. Now I need to get a bunch of stuff where is that? Oh, right, it goes underneath to here and to there. Okay. But that should be an export only. Okay, so I need to do a lot of work with these guys. I want to get the drawers all finished up today, between episodes rather. And then the plan is going to be this. We're going to step away from the machines a little bit. I'm probably going to get more crafters, and once I'll set a lot of the automation stuff up between episodes, move stuff in here, get power set up, all that kind of fun stuff. But then next time, I think what we're going to do is we're going to focus on another bit of automation, another machine that we need to, you know, I should probably just do this. Another machine that we probably need to automate, and that is the steel casing, which requires a blood altar. And while we have a blood altar, we need to do something with this, and this is probably going to be our altar. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually make a mob farm underneath. Now, I'm going to look into exactly how we can do that and all that kind of fun stuff, but that's going to be the plan. We're going to make a mob farm, a hostile mob farm, so that we can get blood for our blood altar, so that we can make the machine casings easier, machine frames, whatever they're called, steel casings, that's what they're called. And I can spell steel. So once we have steel casings automated, then we can get into other things. You know, we can make from there all of the different machines. We can also get into machine frames from RF tools and just go from there for whatever we want. And that will be the plan. So a lot of work to do. But next time, I think we're going to get away from machines and move into blood magic and a hostile mob farm. I'm going to continue working on getting more Terra Steel and hopefully finish the bees up soon. But I'm going to mostly work on the machines and getting the honeycombs processed and everything great on that front. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!